This first news story comes to us from Wesley Inpool over at IGN. Death Stranding surprise launches on Xbox Series X and S as Kojima Productions takes control of the IP. Death Stranding is finally on Xbox after Kojima Productions surprise announced the game's release on Xbox Series X and S. Hideo Kojima's first post-Metal Gear game first launched as a PS4 exclusive published by Sony Interactive Entertainment back in 2019 before releasing on PC a year later. Today, November 7th, 2024, Death Stranding Director's Cut is on Xbox Series X and S and Windows PC courtesy of publisher 505 Games and alongside a 50% launch discount. The timing of the launch, which comes exactly 5 years after the PS4 exclusive release, suggests Sony's console exclusivity deal for Death Stranding is now expired. Kojima Productions will continue its focus on bringing their award-winning IP Death Stranding to more platforms and audiences, a note to press reads. Meanwhile, Kojima Productions announced that it now has full ownership of Death Stranding intellectual property. Hideo Kojima said, "It is my pleasure to finally announce that Death Stranding Director's Cut will be delivered to Xbox players. I would like to thank all the fans who have stayed connected with us, as well as everyone in the Xbox community who have been patiently waiting. Kojima Productions will continue to connect more and more players around the world, so please stay tuned." It's a busy time for Kojima, and there's a lot more from an official blurb, but it basically says the same thing. You get the gist. It's a busy time for Kojima and for Death Stranding. Its sequel, Death Stranding 2 On the Beach, is due out as a Sony-published PS5 exclusive in 2025, and a movie based on the first game is in the works. Elsewhere, Kojima is working on OD for Xbox Game Studios and Fizzant for Sony Interactive Entertainment. Could Death Stranding's launch on Xbox signal an eventual Xbox release for Death Stranding 2 further down the line? Yes, I think that's exactly what that means.
100%.
I think what I'm guessing is from here on out, any game franchise or IP that Hideo Kojima creates and works on will have an expiration date of exclusivity. So that way it ultimately always comes back to him. Because I just couldn't imagine like spending decades in a world with Metal Gear Solid. And granted, for a long time he was done. Like he always was just like, I don't know if I'm going to make another game. I think I'm done with it. I don't have much story left to tell. So on one hand, it's kind of like him losing it probably wasn't terrible, but I'm sure there's a small part of him that's less like, I spent 30 years of my life working on this game series, and just to be like, yoink, it's gone.
Well, that's why, right? That's why he's so adamant these days about making sure that my IP comes to me so that this never happens to me again. Yeah. Also, not only was it something that he worked on for so long, but he was incredibly passionate about it, as passionate as he is about Death Stranding, right? Like, he may not like to say it too much or, have to infer it, but Metal Gear is his baby.
Yeah.
That got taken from him, or that wasn't, he didn't get ownership of it, proper ownership like he should have. Yeah. So I can totally understand him not wanting to do that. The thing about it is that kind of kills me, or not kills me, but impresses me, is that the fact that he had enough pull to get that kind of a deal with Sony.
Right.
To where he gets those IP rights back. Like, have you heard of them doing that with really anybody, giving them the IP back? Not really ever.
No.
If it is, it's been few and far between.
There's a lot of times where they hold on to that with an iron grip. And even if it just means the IP ends up dying, there's so many IPs that they have control of that just die off and, thrown in the back of the closet and forgotten about. But it's okay, that could have gone with someone else to someone else, and it's nope, we're gonna over our dead body kind of thing. It's bizarre. So the fact that they were able to work that out and he was able to get that, it's impressive, honestly. Some impressive negotiating skills going on over there. Or Sony was just that desperate at the time for some new games.
That's what I was gonna say.
They were desperate for not only just new games, but a new game from Hideo Kojima. Heck yeah, we'll do whatever you want. So
to get it exclusive,
yeah. What honestly struck me too is reading this article about all of this upcoming stuff. I was just like, man, what a sweet gig he has now. Cause it mentions like, yeah, they're working on the sequel, Death Stranding 2 with Sony. So it's like they have a new deal with Sony coming up. Or
the A24 Death Stranding movie.
There's an A24 movie. So he's like working with A24. They're backing, it's like all these other companies like Xbox also backing OD. Sony is backing Fizzant, Fizzant. Like, so it's like, man, he's got everything figured out.
He's busy.
Like, he's busy. But he's like, he's got the whole business thing figured out. Like all these other people are like bankrolling all this stuff, publishing all this stuff for him. He's just like,
I'm not mad at it. He's playing the books. He's figured out the system. And also though, it's fun to say that, but like he has also earned the position that he's in with the titles that he's made. He's made games that have like quite literally changed games as an art form. Oh, 100%. So if anybody has the clearance or, you know what I mean, the respect to be able to do something like that, it's him. I don't think there's very many people in games that are as recognizable or as like unilaterally respected as Kojima. Yeah. So, and I know people love to play like he's kind of weird. He's a weird guy. He's really eccentric, which he is. But at the same time, you can't deny dude knows how to tell a story. Dude knows how to make a game.
Yeah, people talk about, even with the stories, are like how off the wall, like, man, like this is so like this, that, the other thing. Like everyone has their complaints, but then people also just keep coming back and eat it up.
Like it's like, back.
Okay, like if it's
and then the essay videos start coming out. Yeah, the essay videos start coming out. Oh man, the story in this game is just so layered and it's so deep. And then more and more start coming out about theories and think pieces that people have. And it's like, wait a minute, I thought you guys said he was a hack. What's going on? Is he or is he not? Or did you just want to be cool and say Kojima's a hack, but real, like, undercover, you actually really thought it was great? Like, what are we doing? Dude's an auteur. I'll call him that all day long.
Yeah. He's brilliant.
He's brilliant, man.
Don't know what to say. Call me a fanboy all you want. I'll proudly claim that, He puts out good stuff. What can I say?
He puts out great stuff.
The only bad game of his I've ever played was Metal Gear Solid 3. So, no.
All right. Okay. Next story. Let's go. How dare you?
Oh, sorry. Metal Gear Solid 5.
Next story.
Thank you so much for watching that clip from our podcast. Remember, if you want to watch the full episode, link will be in the description below. You can click on that and check it out. We got listener questions. We got more news segments. We got what you playing. We got a lot of fun things. So yeah, more than just the news. There's a lot more to the show that you should go check out. So remember, click that link in the description. Check out that full episode.